Hi, welcome to the Aortic Kitchen. I am Rob Seltzer, the Aortic Chef,
And I'm Mindy Seltzer, the aortic dietitian.
and we are here with Aortic Hope, doing a wonderful cooking show. This is the first episode of season 4. Can't believe we're already in our fourth
Or
season,
season.
guys.
Rob, I
Great.
think your mic died.
Would you like mine? I'll share.
Hold on. Yeah, okay. So, shouldn't have died. That's funny. Just hold on a minute. So, anyways, start again. This is the first episode of season 4, and I'm just really happy that we've made it this far and along. So,
I know we're doing better this year. It's going to be a happy year and a funny year.
and
Funny makes you
healthier. Okay, so tonight's program, we're integrating some more specialty diets into the menus a little bit, trying to get more gluten-free for those of you that keep gluten-free and low cholesterol, as well as low fat and low sodium, all the different things. And the recipes that are posted on the Aortic Hope page in Facebook under the files, they have little notes on them: LS, low sodium; LC, low calorie; LOCH, low cholesterol, and so on and so on. You'll be able to figure it out, so you can see what those recipes, how they work for your personal diets. Tonight, in honor of National Spaghetti Day, you would not believe how many national different days there are. I mean, there's so many.
Are they all food related?
No. You can look on the national calendar, national day calendar. National Happy to Be Single Day. Some of us can say that. But there's all sorts of, all you have to do is register to make a day. So
Frog Day?
I don't know. This is National Spaghetti Day. So with that thought in mind, I kind of went Italian, want to do a little bit of an Italian menu. So we are not making spaghetti with red sauce because everybody has a family recipe. I think I've done that way back season 1, if you want to look back. But I wanted to do something different where it's really about the pasta and just maybe think about being Italy. So we've got a nice menu tonight. We're going to start with a fennel slaw because we're using that in a couple different recipes, fresh fennel. And then we're going to make a zabaione, a dessert. Of course, it's a warm egg dessert. It's a warm egg sauce that is made with a little sweet wine, and it goes over fruit. Then the pasta dish of the night is going to be a fettuccine, but it doesn't matter which noodle you use, really, because it's all pretty much somewhat the same. We'll talk about that. With shrimp in a pistachio pesto with lemon and fennel. So nice, really good meal, and this fits pretty much everybody's diets, and we'll go. So the first thing we're going to do is do fennel, and Minnie's actually going to prep it, so leave it to her for that. This is fennel, if you've never seen a fennel bulb. We're talking about the fresh fennel, not the fennel seed that you buy in the grocery store to do your Italian sausage and all that. This is where it comes from, but this is the fresh fennel plant, redolent of licorice. There are so many.
Flowers.
Yep, those are fronds, flowers. There are so many parts. Sorry, so many licorice flavors in the kitchen. It's amazing. I mean, besides like fennel, but we have anise and anisette. We have basil. Basil, if you really taste it, is a licorice flavored herb. Tarragon is licorice. Thai basil. So many others have that licorice. So it's a really important flavor in really good cooking. So, but fennel itself is just delicious, no matter how you do it, hot, cold, raw, cooked. It's really wonderful. So Minnie's going to show you how to do that. She's going to make a slaw with it. I'm going to use this one. Okay.
So he's going to instruct me how to do this.
Okay. So what part of the fennel do we use for the slaw?
This part.
For everything, right. We typically do not use the top part. We cut it about here. A lot of kitchens, this can either go into the stock pot, or we'll use the fronds later for garnish and such. They still have that nice licorice flavor, but It's like with a leek. If you're familiar with a leek, the top part that's all green and dark, you don't use that. You just use the white part. Same with the fennel. And it grows like a cabbage. It's in layers. So Minnie's going to cut off the top. Okay, we'll take that and said, I'll take that. Thank you, because I'm using it later.
Stealing the show. Right?
And
Peel
then-
this or cut this?
No, you're going to stand it up flat.
I'm just this piece.
It will come off.
Never mind.
Well, either that way or either way you want to. You split it open. Like, remember how we cut an onion? We cut off the stem, and we leave the root on, and then we split it in half, and then we cut out. We have here, see, it looks like a cabbage right here, Mindy. We have a cabbage, looks like a cabbage. So it has the root right inside the center here. So you take your knife and make a V cut. You cut this way and you cut this way, you remove it. Okay, and enough of it so you left some in because it won't peel up. If there's any really ugly pieces like this, you might just break it off. So Mindy needs to cut some more. Okay, and you can probably cut that whole piece off. All right, so now we have a nice usable piece of fennel. Yep, the cores are real big. There's a lot of waste with fennel.
And fennel is not the least expensive vegetable.
No, this one piece costs about $2.60. So, all right, so once you got that all out,
First time we had fennel,
my mother.
you cooked for me and cooked fancy.
Oh, no, that was not the first time. I've had my
That's the
mother.
first time I remember.
Okay, anyways, no, we're going to cook julienne it like an onion. Let's cut off some of that, more of that. There you go. Thank you. So now follow the grain. Sense to you?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so we're going to cut nice, thin pieces of fennel. Now, my mother used to keep it in the refrigerator. Just put it in ice water and just go in there and eat it like you would a carrot stick or a celery stick. It's just, if you like licorice, okay? It tastes like good old black licorice. And throw those fingers before you cut off your nails.
I won't.
And
So you hear
so
the scream.
you take it out, keep it in the ice cold water. It stays really crispy and crunchy, and it's wonderful. It makes a really nice slaw, nice salad. Simple. Fennel, onion, little parsley, lemon juice, and olive oil. That's it. Okay, nothing else. And it's a really, really delightful slaw. Then you can also cook with it. Fennel's delicious. I love stuffing chicken. That's what Mindy was talking about when we were in Italy. Our first trip to Italy, we were in a
Apartment.
yeah, it was in the middle of a vineyard. It was a farmhouse, and they converted it into apartments. There were 2 apartments, 3, one way down. And so when we got there, the people, when I was in the wine business, they had already stocked a lot of wine and some supplies in there. We went shopping and got a chicken and some fennel and stuff. I made dinner. And so I cooked the chicken with fennel. I filled it with fennel and lemon and roasted it. And I tell you, it's one of the best things ever. Really delicious.
As we looked out at the sunset over the field of olives.
Maybe I'll post some of those pictures in Facebook for those kind of dig them out. This is way back in early 2000, 2003 or 4. So it's a long time ago. Okay, put all that in your bowl. Yeah, did you get them separated? You cut a little thick.
I am not a chef.
Yeah.
I'm a cook.
Yeah, okay. So didn't get across the bottom enough, so we
No,
gotta
because
just
you told me to
separate
leave
them.
the bottom on.
They didn't, no, okay. So didn't trim it. You gotta make sure you trim it all.
Trim
So
all the
you
stuff.
get this all nice, okay? You go ahead and separate that, and then you're gonna do your onion, same way. Parsley in later.
No, that's their job. He minces
No, my
parsley.
microphone is over there.
Mm.
These things usually last 3 or 4 shows.
I said, honey, do you want to charge them? Yeah.
I have here some, boy,
I mean,
this is okay. Light.
yes.
I really found some. I didn't pick this, someone else brought it to me. I want to talk about mature parsley. The size of those parsley leaves. That's really mature. It's good. It tastes good. It's just fine. What?
Same thickness.
Just slice it down. I gotta take you back to night school.
Oh, honey, I have no thumbs.
Oh, I'll be happy.
No.
Okay, here we go. Mindy's dealing with some bad arthritis in her thumbs. Let's just put it like that. It's
Separated tendon.
same thing. Okay, can't use your thumb. Okay, I'll take the knife.
Oh, yours.
All right. So, fennel, some onion, a little bit too much. Well, me, I love onions. The stuff. Okay, toss. Save some of that. Remember now, if you got parsley, the easiest way to chop parsley, take it in your hand, make it a really tight little ball, as tight as you can. Okay. Then place it on your cutting board. Just work at one end. Work your way across. Those fingers curl and just your fingertips on the table, on the cutting board. And then a couple more this way. Got a lovely chopped parsley. Okay. Oh. You need the knife anymore?
I do not.
Talk to the camera.
I can talk, but no one can you hear me?
Yes, it's all good. Microphone's right there in front of you.
Where?
Attach it to the camera, honey. It's right there.
This is lemon juice. And as a matter of fact, it's from Italy.
Well, fresh lemon and a little bit of it.
Costco. Every kind. Oh, didn't mean to promote them.
How they have to pay us.
Yeah, they do. Honey, I'm being my typical messer. A couple onions flew out
Yeah.
of the bowl.
Okay.
Aren't you glad they gave me the
Toss
bigger
it
bowl?
in- Toss in the parsley. And some
You-
olive
no
oil.
pepper?
You will. You don't need
No, you
necessarily
don't.
all the. We'll see if you need all the olive oil. It's a little bit smaller than I. The black pepper. And okay. That's it.
And
Now she's gonna set
there
that.
it is.
We're gonna set it to the side in the refrigerator. Let it chill for a while. Okay. Before we serve it, and in the meantime, I'm gonna wipe this up a little bit, and Mindy's gonna select her serving dish. Pull one out. We didn't pull anything out for the pasta dish either. Okay. And now that was fun and easy, right? That was even with all our dickering and all that. That was probably less than 10 minutes. Make that salad, and there's enough there for. Well, the recipe is written for 4. Depends how much you like it. You know, it can be a small portion, or it could be a base. You know, you can put that on a plate and slice roast chicken on top of it, or cold roast chicken as a salad. A lot of things you can do with fennel. If you haven't had it before, try it. It's really good if you're making stock. In order to poached fish, okay, or a sauce of fish. It's really good. That fennel, and so you put that in the water along with your mirepoix and stuff, and it makes a really beautiful stock to use with fish. Okay, there we go. Next, really easy, is going to be Zabaglione. Okay, now in Italian, Zabaglione or Zabaglione, Zabaglione, Zabaglione. French, Sabayon, Sabayon. So depending on where you're from, different words, really the same thing. So what we have with this one, nice and hold. We're gonna make this and hold it. So this is typically made with egg yolks, sugar, some sort of sweet wine. Typically the Italian, we use sweet Marsala, okay, which is kind of raisiny. I like to use Moscato, which is, a lightly sparkling wine from northern Italy that is redolent of almonds. Okay, have some Moscato here. And so it's egg yolks and sugar and wine. It's typically 3 ingredients. That's it. And then we have to do it over a double boiler, like you'd make a hollandaise sauce or something in order to cook the egg. But what I've done is a lot of us really can't have the egg yolks. We try to keep our cholesterol down, right? So we stay away from whole eggs. So I've been using, okay. So,
Really distracted.
yes, you did. So anyways, I'm using like an egg substitute product. Okay, something like you would have to know the brand, but it's the egg that beats all other eggs, that one. But most all the stores, whether it's Target or Walmart or whoever, they all have their own store brand. It just says egg substitute on the label. So it's just egg whites, and they're blended with a little bit of oil to return that fat, but it's vegetable, so it doesn't have any cholesterol in it, and a little bit of color, so they look yellow, and that's why they can scramble them. They look like eggs. I have found in all these different things I've been trying to do that they really perform pretty well, like a yolk. I made a dessert. I made a tiramisu the other night, and I made other things. Well, that quiche, right? We made the last show. So we take our egg. This is about 6 tablespoons of egg substitute. Okay, and
Go to the king.
it's lost, not at the door. So take your eggs. Want to whisk them until they get frothy. Really simple. Just whip for a minute. Now, the only other thing I did add, instead of the sugar, with the sugar, since we don't have the egg yolks, which doesn't have uh, they both have a lot of protein, but egg yolks, when they are put over heat and you make like a hollandaise, they thicken and they emulsify, and the egg whites don't. So I added a little bit of cornstarch to the sugar in order to just give it a little more body when we cook it and make sure that it doesn't separate out. And it works beautifully. And by the time this is done, you have no idea that it's not egg yolks. Okay, so you see we're getting frothy. Just getting some bubbles. I'm not making a meringue here. And we won't, because they add the fat to it. That they won't do. These won't make meringue. So we then take our sugar and our cornstarch, put that all in. Stir it in. Want to whisk that till it starts to kind of like, well, if you're doing the yolks, you would stir it until you get that pale yellow and a ribbon stage. So I just want it to thicken. And you also put in your wine. It's supposed to be just a few tablespoons. There we go. Not much. Not making a whole lot here. Then we're going to go to the double boiler. You guys know what a double boiler, hot of water, and then that'll hold the bowl, or if you have an old-fashioned double boiler, that's fine. You set this over it. We don't want it to boil. You just want the water simmering, which I'll bring it over here and you'll be able to see. So, you see how this has changed already? See how it's gotten really light in color, and it's all the sugar's
Airy.
dissolved and it's airy and almost starting to thicken a little bit. This is what we want. So now we go to the double boiler. This is over here. Just little bubbles. You see how it's all nice and steamy? It's the steam we want. It's not boiling. And never ever let your bowl touch the water. You'll need a little bit of water in the bottom, enough to create the steam. It's not the, it's not the water. Otherwise, you'll scramble your eggs. So now Mindy's going to just stand there and stir those things for about 6-7 minutes until they get nice and thick. Now, one thing I did notice with the egg substitute is, you may want to keep a thermometer handy, because with the egg yolks, it's really easy. It gets all nice and thick and creamy and silky, and you know that it's done. These will do the same, but they're going to have to get egg whites hardened at a higher temperature, but we don't want to get them over 160 because we got to get up. I got the cornstarch in there, and we have to get that to reach the right temperature so it'll gelatinize. Otherwise, you're going to have raw, grainy cornstarch. But if you get much over 160 degrees, I notice that the egg substitute tends to separate, and all of a sudden you get a little oil flow. That's not going to happen for about 5-6 minutes. No, the water's, I've done this.
But I'm doing it.
It's going to be fine. Have little bubbles. You need a simmer so you have a nice steamy chamber. Okay. And this does not have a nice steamy chamber there. Always turn it back down. Okay. Good. So we'll come back to Mindy later. We're going to put it over some blueberries, make a lovely dessert with that. It'll be very nice. And it's delicious. You put the warm sauce over the cold fruit, or you can put over, a cake or a combination of cake and fruit or whatever you want to do. It's just really delicious. One of my favorite light desserts because it is very light. It's a little bit rich. Okay. Now let's talk pasta here. Any questions? Anybody there? Is anybody watching tonight, Josh?
Yeah, let's take a moment and say hi to some people and go ahead and clip that mic for me. Tom. Hi, Tom. Hi, Katie. Hi, Melissa. Melissa.
Hi,
was
guys.
asking how the weather was up in Portland, and Katie said very wet, pouring rain, and a little frowny face.
Oh, okay. Lovely here. It was cool. It's going down in the 40s tonight. What do you want?
Just not come along. What's wrong?
Yeah, I know that, honey. So I'm hoping I've got some other friends that were going to come that aren't part of the group. They saw our ad and said they might drop in, which I'm really hoping they have. We're starting to get some outside people to watch the program, which is really great. Yes, yes. More every week. Yeah, that's right. We had a friend of ours up in Michigan. Actually, remember Mindy did when we're doing the puff pastry, the apple day, and she made those apple roses. You remember those things? Well, my friend made them for Christmas, and he sent us pictures. They were gorgeous, better than Mindy's, honestly. He followed the directions really well, and they came out really nice. So nice to see that other people are doing, the same thing. They're following along with us. Okay, now we're going to do the. Oh, you want me to put on my apron now? Okay, sir. Well, that's a long way from 160. Better? Okay. We're doing the pasta with shrimp and pistachio pesto. We're going to stop along the way as we do everything. I want to talk about the shrimp. I want to talk about the pasta and all the things that make them different and what you can do. But first, I need to make the pesto. So this is a pistachio pesto. Pesto typically is made with basil and pine nuts and olive oil and Parmigiano Reggiano. You put them all in a food processor and blend the heck out of it till you get a nice creamy paste. All right. And then now people started making, different pestos. You can make it with walnuts. You can use parsley instead of basil, or make walnut pesto instead of the pines. What?
Just a question. I'm just asking you all the things. Don't they make pistachio butter?
Probably. You can make nut butter out of any nut. So they make cashew butter almond butter, pistachio butter, soy butter. You make out of any nut that you want. I could even make Mindy butter. So, yes, that's what I'm saying. So, in order to make this pesto, what we need is shelled pistachios. Okay, I have some lovely pistachios. I didn't pick them. I ordered them online and I got them in the shell. So poor Mindy had to take them out of the shell. Okay. Yeah. Oh my God. We're retired. You have nothing to do. So we have pistachios into the blender. Boop. There we go. We have olive oil. And this is all it's really going to be is pistachios and olive oil. And if it doesn't turn enough, we'll add water to make it creamier rather than I'm trying to reduce the fat and calories in this. So I did reduce the uh, so while this is going, we're going to want to go until it's totally pureed. I don't want chunky pistachios in there. I would like it to be smooth and creamy. Looking pretty good. A little bit of water. Keep that lid on. We don't want green cabinets when this is done. So anybody ever done that? Started to make something and forgot to put the lid on their blender and have margaritas everywhere? No? Let's see what I got. Yeah, there you go. They haven't drunk enough, Mindy says, if they haven't. Nope, this is still a little chunky. I'm going to do a little scrape down. So you got to do, take it all back down to the bottom, bring everybody to the party. All these poor nuts up here aren't getting in, they're not getting ground up and excited. We're looking pretty close. We're almost there. Show you the consistency. See? So it's really pretty. It's got beautiful color. Put that focus in. Okay. A little bit more water. Whoop. That was like a teaspoon. Now you have I have one of the big high-speed blenders, like the other brand, the Vita brand, but I have a knockoff, but it's too big. And this little cup of nuts would have gotten lost. Even in my food processor, which you can use a food processor, you have a smaller one, or you can make a double batch of the pesto. It will last in the refrigerator for weeks. So it's really not a problem if you want to make some extra and just put it away and use it on other things as well. Let's see what we got. I think we're looking good here. Yep, we're nice and creamy. I think that's all this blender is going to do for us, actually. Hmm? Yeah, that's okay if there's little pieces of nuts in there. Yeah. I invite every nut I can to my parties. Uh-huh. I already said that. You're late with that joke. You're reinforcing the fact you're a nut. Okay, so I just want this to sit and let the flavors meld for a little while. In fact, I don't even need the lid on it. I can just put that in there, and there we go. Okay, so there's my pesto. That really doesn't need any salt. If you want to season it with anything else, we're going to season the dish as we go. So don't worry. Is that about ready? Oh yeah. So here, let's just take the bowl. Okay, here we go. Here's where it's at now. See, it's starting to thicken. Not quite yet. It's going to coat the back of a spoon and actually stick to the spoon. So you got some more to go. Where?
143.
Oh yeah, you got about 20 degrees to go yet. So a little more, but it's getting there. You'll see how it can thicken. Okay, next. So the other ingredients in this uh, dish are shallot and lemon peel and lemon zest and some olive oil. Okay. Now shallot, I just thought I'd do that, and then we're going to get this thing going here. Um, I have my handy dandy stovetop stove. I'm just going to preheat the pan. There we go. Now shallot. Shallots are great. This is a large shallot. Okay. You can get smaller ones. But it's kind of a, someone told me that they didn't, can I make things without garlic because they're allergic to garlic or they have a problem digesting it? I said, sure. A great substitute is a shallot. All right. A shallot kind of tastes like a little bit of a cross between a garlic and an onion, or a green onion, especially. Now they are red. You deal with them just like you would an onion. Cut off the end, then cut it in half. Use a small knife on these typically because they're usually a lot smaller. We're not going to use that much of this. Um, so you'll see it looks like a red onion, though it's not. Okay, it is not a member of the red onion family. The shallot is its own different. Um, it's an allium. Yes, it is an allium, which is a member of the onion family. But you know, I at one time thought, well, we can just get baby red onions and use those, but they're really not baby red onions. The shallot is its own animal, so to speak. So we're going to handle it just like an onion. I want finely chopped shallot. So I'm going to make my slices and I'm going to make my cuts. Nice, thin, skinny cuts because I want really fine brunoise, be the like a 16th of an inch. Then and just cut, cut, cut. And off we go. Okay. I think that should be about enough. Okay. I love shallots. Shallots are good in so many things. They are like the key to really good vinaigrettes. If you want a good vinaigrette dressing, you want to put fresh shallot in it. Okay. So here we go. Now we're ready to rock and roll here. Let me change up a couple of things real quick. And I'm going to take this away. Here we go. And I'm going to bring this here. Where's my mark? Ah, there we go. Okay. All right. That look good. Okay. How you doing there?
Almost ready to take it off.
Okay. Getting close. Yeah, that's getting nice and thick. Very lovely. Okay, so this pan should be nice and warm. I have some olive oil here, tablespoon or two. Heat that up. Got a little left in here. That's good flavor for the pan. The oil get hot before we add food to it. And at this point, oops, you should come way down. I'm going to add my shallots. A little bit of sizzle I wanted. And a piece of lemon peel. That's where a lot of our lemon flavors would come from. We're just going to saute that with our shallots. I got a large pan because I got about a pound of shrimp here. I've got people to feed tonight. So, and that's what the recipe is written for anyways. So we're just going to let that cook. Move it on low. I don't want to burn the shallots. Okay. I want to get that lemon down in there. Okay. So the shrimp, I have some nice shrimp. I've thawed them already. I always buy frozen shrimp. Okay. I do not buy fresh because they're refrigerated. They're not fresh. Okay. I don't know how many days old they are. And other shrimp, when they're frozen, are typically caught and frozen within hours. Okay. Same day. And they're, so when you thaw them, they're as fresh as the day they were caught, literally. Now, one of the issues with shrimp, if you look on the nutritionals of shrimp, there's a lot of sodium on shrimp, and it's not from the shrimp itself. What they do is they add an ingredient to shrimp, and I'm going to show you. And it's going to be hard to see, but you ever rinse your shrimp? I am. I'm going to. And if you rinse your shrimp, run them in water, and you'll notice that the bowl or whatever fills with like soapy bubbles. You ever see that? I do. I just had them here. If I take most of these out, if I get another, okay, Mindy's going to try and demonstrate for us. Drain these off some more. I'll have to use a sprayer to agitate. And okay. Okay. These are starting to brown already, so you can move. But anyway, they already thought, I had to rinse them earlier. So, but if you get like soapy bubbles, that's the result. No, that's the result of a product called STP, not the stuff you put in your car, but a sodium tripolyphosphate. Sodium tripolyphosphate is a product that is used throughout the seafood industry, especially shrimp and scallops are the main two, some other fish. And they are, STP is hygroscopic. It is a chemical that absorbs water. Okay. So you can make a shrimp grow a couple sizes. Now, what do I mean by sizes? When you buy shrimp on the bag, it'll say 1620 U15s, 2124s, 2530s, 3140s, 4060s. Those are how many pieces of shrimp per pound. So the larger the number, the smaller the shrimp. Okay. So they can take a 2125 shrimp that's peeled and deveined. P and D, we call that. That's peeled and deveined. So the shell's off and that sand vein up the back is gone. And they can soak it in STP and it grows to a 1620. So it can grow one or even two sizes. So what you're doing is you're now paying for 25% water. It's just like with the turkeys, right? To talk about the injection in the turkeys being as high as 18, 20% when you go to the grocery store, that saline pump. They do that one because that's how the turkey never gets dry, haha. But also you pay for water. When it's 20% saline that's been injected, 1/5 of that turkey is water, and 1/5 of the price. So you're paying, $5.99, or of that whatever amount, you're paying 1/5 of the price of it is just for water. So same thing with shrimp, and also like if you put scallops in a pan and they have a lot of STP, you will see that they they shrink. A lot of that water comes out. The pan gets full of water, and that's because of that STP. Now another thing about shrimp, when I cook, these are I typically don't buy. I normally buy wild shrimp from either the United States. I like the Gulf shrimp, the Gulf pinks, and the Texas browns. I like to get the whites off of Ecuador, are also nice. I like Argentinian reds, but I try not to buy too many farm raised. But this particular one is, I was, short time, but it does have a level 4 approval for their farm, their aquaculture practices. So it means they're really clean. They're using good feed. The pools are cleaned and all that stuff. So you don't have quite as much to worry about with that. So we're going to cook the shrimp on one side. You'll see they start to get solid. The color changes from gray to white. And the other thing, if you notice with these shrimp, I did buy tail off. Now, I don't know about you. This is one of my chef's pet peeves. When I go to a restaurant, we didn't even get the pasta in, please. Okay. Now, take a piece of that. Let's do our pasta. When the sauce is done, is when you typically put your pasta in, but this is gonna take 8 minutes to cook. You can even set a timer if you want. There it goes, down in. Let's get it. You can cook pasta covered or uncovered, doesn't really matter. So back to my pet peeve. I hate when I get a dish in a restaurant other than a shrimp cocktail when the shrimp has the tail on it still. You ever get that messy, bowl of spaghetti with red sauce that's got shrimp in it or some other thing, a jambalaya or whatever, and they got the tails? And how are you supposed to do that? You still got to get your either you lose the meat that's inside the tail, you got to take a fork and knife and cut off the tail or pick it up with your fingers. You don't pick up a shrimp that's in a sauce. So I always cook tail off. I think it looks better. Yeah, maybe you want to garnish with a shrimp that has a tail on, but otherwise, no. Now these are all changing color, so we're going to flip them, flip them, flip them, get them all flipped over. Take a minute. Shrimp don't take too long to cook. Almost there. Get rid of my lemon. And I could do the flippy, the toss, but I wouldn't be sure that I get all the shrimp turned over right. So I want to do it with this. What's your problem there, dear? You need more room, huh? Okay. Okay, so your shrimp are cooked on one side, ready to go. So you're nice curled up, all nice. This is when we go with the pesto. Straight into the pan. Then olive oil is going to start to just melt right out. Oh, that's more than enough because I actually doubled the amount of pistachios. Okay, those are already pretty much done on the other side. Now I can do a little. Yes. Now the pesto is very heavy.
Doing the chefy thing.
Yes. Need that to melt a little bit. Get this all nice and we're gonna let them simmer on low for while the pasta cooks. Okay, 8 to 10 minutes is fine. We're all good with that because I got more to talk about, of course. What? Yak, yak, yak. Yes. And the last thing I'm going to add now is I have lemon zest from the lemon that I took the peel from. Want this to be nice, lemony pistachio flavor. And a little bit of black pepper, fresh cracked pepper. And we definitely want this to be cooked al dente, the pasta, to the tooth, because I'm going to finish it in the pan. We always finish pasta in the pan. We don't put it in a plate and then throw the stuff on top of it because it has no flavor that way. Okay, way down. There we go. 8 minutes. Did it go 8 minutes yet?
No, it didn't.
Okay. Okay, so we let that go. Now, what I want to talk about real quick, someone asked me some questions earlier today. Let's talk about pasta. So I used a regular box pasta And you can see, you can want to check your pasta, see the color. If you hold it up to light, you can look and see if there's dirt. This has got a lot of little black specks, little bits of kind of dirt and bran and chaff in it. Okay, so it's not necessarily, it's good pasta. It's a really good national Italian brand. I only use Italian pasta. Now, that's a regular, now that one is made with durum wheat semolina and durum wheat flour. Okay, semolina is a grind of flour. Durum is a hard winter and spring wheat. The best in the world, literally, is grown in the what's called the North Dakota Triangle, and that's an area of North Dakota and northeastern Montana. The area forms a triangle. The best hard durum wheat. In fact, the Italians import the American wheat for their pasta and then ship it back over here. So when they grind that wheat, because the other stuff is, the summer, the regular wheat is softer. So the semolina is just a coarser grind. Imagine, a drip grind coffee compared to espresso. Espresso being the flour and the drip grind being the semolina. Okay, so that makes when pasta is made with pure semolina, you get a firmer texture. It cooks al dente more because it's harder. So here's a pasta that is made with 100% semolina. And also what I want you to look at, if you can see this, is the texture. Okay, there is texture on the pasta itself, little bumps, if I can hold my hand still, that you can see where the other one was smooth. This is kind of rough to the touch. And that's because it was pushed through what's called a bronze die, to make the shape. This is trompetti, little trumpets. And that bronze die, that coarseness helps the pasta absorb sauce better and make the sauce stick to it, where the smooth, soft pasta, it just slips off. So bronze die, 100% semolina. Mindy, you're going to all over the cell. Move here. Oh, you didn't see what I saw. Okay, now we're getting there. What I want to look for, how do we know if it's al dente? It's getting right. You can do the bite, or you can break it in half and look in the center. You see that white? That's uncooked pasta. So I want a little bit smaller, a little more cooked. That's a little bit too al dente right now for me and for us, but we want it some because we're going to finish cooking it in the pan. Now, what can we make pasta with? So there is, excuse me. You don't mind if I handle your food and sneeze, do you? Might just take the bottom off.
Well, let me get
Get it out. Yeah, I know.
Thank you.
A little water in it, whatever. So where was I? Oh, flowers. So here is semolina flour. You can buy just straight semolina for making pasta, and you can make bread with it and other things. You can make desserts, puddings with semolina. It's very good. This is the 100% durum wheat semolina. So you mix this just with water and make fabulous pasta if you want to make your own. We'll talk about that. This here is what's called 00. Now this is a soft wheat flour from Italy, and it's very fine. Okay, and this is really good. You can make pasta with this, but you want the softer for like raviolis and lasagna and things like that. Also makes great bread and other things of that nature. Or you can blend this with the semolina and do that half and half. But it's really, really nice. 00. You ever had semolina bread? People use it for pizzas too. If you're going to be gluten-free, I've been trying gluten-free pasta all week, and with some success. Not great success, but some success. And it's honestly, there's so many good ones out there. I don't know why I would bother to make my own, other than because I just like to do that. So that's a good question. But I made it with the ones I've had that are really good are made with corn flour and rice flour. So I can put a little pasta water in here. Always say pasta water. It has some starch in it. and it helps bind your sauces together. And we're going to add our pasta to it. But I used corn flour because the Italians make really good gluten-free pasta. And it's corn flour and rice flour. Why did I take that off? I don't know. That's my strainer. Okay, honey, I'm coming through. Yes, please. Okay, that was like 46 years ago, 44 years ago, whatever. Okay. So I was using corn flour and I was using a all-purpose gluten-free flour, which the nice thing about that, and I'm going to take all my pasta and just put it right in there. Okay. We got a couple of strands left. Should be enough water on there still. Okay. Now I can just need to toss. What, Mindy? He thinks. You want to do this, it makes the sauce kind of come together and get creamy. Toss it in the pasta, getting everything together if you can master the chef toss. Okay. We'll let that cook for another minute or two. Make sure that pasta is nicely cooked. Okay. Oh, that bowl, my pasta. Okay. Now, so the nice thing about the all-purpose gluten-free flour, for those of you that use it, is because it already has xanthan gum in it. And typically xanthan gum is added because we can't have gluten. And the xanthan gum gives you that texture, that little bit of chewiness to try to replace from the gluten. Okay. Promise about the fennel. I'm going to use some of these fennel fronds, and we're going to put a little bit of them just right into the pasta. And I'll put some on top for garnish. Toss it a couple more times. But so I use the corn flour, which I bought. I went to my local Latin store and bought masa harina, which is corn flour in Spanish. And I use that. And that looks just like regular flour. It's just yellow. Same thing you make tortillas. You want to make your own tortillas at home. They are amazing. And that's just the corn flour and water. You make your dough, and then you press them out, or you can put fat. Some people put lard in it, or any other fat. And then press them for corn tortillas, and then just put them in the griddle and cook them, and you have great instant tortillas. Okay, I think we're good to go here. All right, I'm going to try to do this. See if I can get a nice plate of pasta. I'm going to move this over. Yeah. Why not? I want to try to make that fancy roll. And a twisted fork is a little bit better than the tongs. I could use a fork, but it's all right. And just twist it around and kind of lay it in there. I got too much pasta. There we go. And you kind of get it to stand up nice. And you do another one. Well, sort of. And lay that on top there. Hold on. I'm going to give you some shrimp. You can put a little spoon of pesto on there if you want. And that parsley was for your slaw.
I decided to.
Okay. Oh, okay. It's fine. Move this out of the way. Excuse me, I got it. Just bring those to the front. What do you want to make another pasta? What do you want to do? 2 bowls of pasta? So making dinner, making sure we
I'm
had dinner.
making dinner.
Oh, okay. I will do one more. It's a long one. Sticky. Okay. Shrimp. I've got pasta everywhere. Well, no, we're going to wipe it off. Already done. And some of olive oil. Yeah. We'll do some olive oil before dinner. I can get your camera.
Let's slide that back a little ways.
Yep, I'm watching.
There you go. Bring those into frame.
Zabayon is where? Okay.
And hi, Shauna. Hi, Brenning.
Okay. Slide. As long as we got all 3 together here. Everybody see what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
Blueberries, that, and our sauce. Now, normally I will put this in something that pours. I have a ladle right here, though. And your warm Zabayon.
It started separating.
No, I don't see any separation at all. Here we go. It's on the inside. Okay. Oh, here we go. So we have fennel slaw, fresh fennel, onion, parsley, lemon juice, and olive oil with a little bit of pepper. Just fresh and delicious, easy. I mean, as clean and uncomplicated a salad as you can get. Here is our, will you use fettuccine? Doesn't matter. You can use spaghetti. You can use whatever noodles you want. And with shrimp, pistachio pesto made from pistachios and olive oil, a little bit of water, lemon peel and zest. And that's it. Again, yes, you could use fish if you don't want shrimp. You can make this with, you could use chicken. This would be delicious with chicken as well. But the pistachio pesto, that's it. I mean, again, really 5, 6 ingredients for the whole dish. Everything stands out on its own. And then our blueberries with Zabayon, okay, which is our simple egg, sugar, and wine sauce with fresh blueberries. I typically, strawberries, raspberries, make a fruit medley with it, whatever. Have a little sponge cake in the bottom. Some amaretti would be beautiful. Had enough amaretti. So, any questions, comments? Anybody got to say? Because I'm almost ready to wrap this up.
Let's see.
Wait until you take all your pictures.
We were talking a little bit about the weather. And
Yes.
then John brought in fairly late and said, "What did I miss?" with a big smiley face. Katie says, "John, did you bring an excuse for being late?" And he says, "My dog ate it." Katie says, "This looks very nice." It does. It looks very good.
Thank you.
I liked learning that you can cut the noodle in half and just see.
I'm sorry?
And just see how uncooked it is.
Oh, to break it to see
Yeah.
the center. Yes,
Mhm.
Yeah.
yes, for the al dente. Right.
Yeah,
Yep,
Shanna
that's
says
a
looks good.
Missing
thank
a,
you.
no, we're not.
Yeah, it's good. If you
Tomato.
wanted a little more olive oil, if you want it, you can do anything you want to it at this point. All right, well, great. So this has been our Spaghetti Day inspired Italian menu. In 2 weeks, on January 16th, we will now it's another day. I had went to this National Day calendar, and this could be National Oatmeal Day or Oatmeal Week. I'm not sure which, but we're going to be doing a lot of different things with oatmeal, including some entrees and soups with oatmeal as a base, and they are absolutely delicious. They've got high, good fiber. You don't need to make roux with all the extra fat in it. It's vegan. All these great things. And it's gluten free and so on, as long as you get gluten free oatmeal. We'll talk about that in 2 weeks. So be sure to join us at 6 o'clock on January the 16th for the next episode 2, season 4 of the Aortic
Aortic
Kitchen.
Kitchen.
That's Rob Seltzer, the Aortic Chef,
Mindy Seltzer, the aortic dietitian or cook today.
and to say good night and thanks for joining us, everybody.